What if I told you that right now you're living inside an invisible jar with an invisible lid that you don't even realize is there? Sounds crazy, right? However, listen to this. Scientists once ran an experiment where they put fleas into a jar and then they sealed it off with a lid. Now, fleas can jump crazy high, like way higher than the height of that jar. And at first, they kept jumping as high as they could, yet they kept hitting the lid over and over and over. Then, something interesting happened. Over time, they stopped jumping past the point where there had been a lid, even when the lid was removed. They never jumped beyond that limit again. They believed that lid was still there, so they never tested their full potential again. Now, I need you to sit with that for a second. Because this same invisible lid exists in your life. At some point in your life, you were told what was realistic, what was possible, what you were allowed to do. Maybe it was a teacher saying, that's not a practical career. Or maybe it was your parents saying, that's just how life is. Maybe it was your own experiences stacking up, making you feel like certain things were out of reach. So you stopped reaching. You stopped testing your limits because every time you did, it felt like you were hitting a ceiling. And eventually, you started to believe that that ceiling was real. And just like those fleas, you settled. Not because you aren't capable of more, because at some point you accepted those limits as truth. Here's what they don't teach you in school. Every single limit in your life is learned. You weren't born doubting yourself. You weren't born thinking that you weren't enough. And you certainly weren't born believing that success was reserved for other people. Someone, somewhere, planted that belief in you. And every time you let that belief stop you from going after something you want, you reinforce that invisible lid. You were designed to jump out of the jar. You were meant for expansion. You were meant to create and grow and evolve and reach levels that you aren't even able to imagine yet. Your mind is the only thing that decides whether you stay small or break free. Moms, do you have goals set for yourself? Are you wanting to learn how to create your own goals? The Goal Digger's Guidebook has everything you need to learn how to set, track, and crush your goals. It's available now at mommymadeuncut.com. I'll post the link in the description so you can start creating a life that you love. Let's get back to it. So, how do you recognize the lid that's keeping you trapped? Start by asking yourself these questions. What have I always wanted to do, yet never started? When I think of something big, what's the first excuse that comes to mind? Who told me I couldn't? Whose voice am I still carrying in my head? Where in my life have I accepted limits instead of questioning them? That last one is huge. The moment you stop questioning, you accept. And once you accept, you stay stuck. This isn't about whether you think you can do something. This is about recognizing that the only thing keeping you from doing it is a belief that was never yours to begin with. So, what do? You start jumping higher than you think you can. You challenge every limit. Every time your brain says, that's not possible, respond with says who. Start to take action before you feel ready. Waiting until you feel prepared is the fastest way to stay exactly where you are. Surround yourself with people who think bigger. You're the average of the people around you. If everyone you know plays small, you'll start thinking that's normal. Prove yourself wrong daily. Do one thing every day that stretches you beyond what you thought was possible. Growth is not comfortable, guys. It's not supposed to be. It's how you know it's working. And every single time you stretch beyond what you thought was possible, a new normal is created. And over time, you'll stop seeing these limits altogether. Here's the question. Are you staying inside the jar, or are you ready to test how high you can actually go? Your limits are not real. They were given to you. And anything that was given to you can be given back. You are built for more. The question is, are you going to prove that to yourself? Drop a comment and tell me one belief that you're ready to challenge. No more waiting, no more excuses, no more negotiating. Today is the day that you remove the lid and jump.